Hello everyone, my name is Shakes, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to increase your chances of getting CSGO Overwatch. Now if you don't fully understand what CSGO Overwatch is, it's kind of an opportunity for you to watch demos of players who have been kind of suspicious, who've been reported multiple times, and kind of watch their demos to see if they actually are cheating, and if they are, then you can convict them of wall hacking or aim hacking or various other things. Now this little feature isn't exactly available to everyone because they don't really trust everyone to be able to see if a hacker is actually cheating or is actually just a really good player, so it is only available to some players, and I'll show you how to become one of those players that can actually use this feature and have the opportunity to see if people who are suspicious are actually cheating or not. Now the exact guidelines to be accepted into the Overwatch program are kind of obscure, they're not exactly known, but there are a few things that a lot of players have figured out that makes you have a very high chance of getting into the program. First things first is you have to have a good rank, and not the best rank, not an incredible rank, not even a great rank. You have to be Gold Nova 1 or above, and the reason for this is they don't want silvers or people who are generally pretty inexperienced with the game. They don't want those players to be judging to see if other people are good players or hackers. They don't think that's that reliable, so they want you to at least be a Gold Nova 1 to see if you actually are, have some time in the game to understand the difference between someone who's using a cheat and someone who's actually just pretty good at the game. On the other hand though, if you are an even higher rank, if you're like a Legendary Eagle or something, or Master Guardian, you're going to have a higher chance of getting in than if you are Gold Nova 1, so just keep grinding out those ranks to get higher and higher so they think you're going to be a better and better player, and therefore will have a better understanding of what is a good player and what is a cheater. So now that you have a pretty good rank, you're going to need some wins. So the most people think that you need at least 150 wins to have a good chance, but you don't exactly need this. Some people get it earlier, some people get it at 50 wins, some people can get it even earlier, but generally you're going to want to have 150 wins or more. The more and more you have, again, the more the game will think you are more reliable, and therefore will have a higher chance of making you an Overwatch investigator. Another pretty important factor is having a relatively old account, because if you have an older account, they probably think you care a little bit more about it than say someone who's had an account for only a few days or a couple months, so they think you're going to be a little bit less suspicious and maybe a little bit more reliable as an investigator. You see, their goal isn't only to find a player who actually understands the game and can differentiate a good player from a hacker, but also to, depend on someone who has a reliable account and is kind of a reliable person on Steam. That's also another big thing for them, so that's why they care about things like account age or, having a lot of wins. And lastly, the final thing that I think has a pretty big impact on your ability to become an Overwatch investigator is if you have a lot of account reports. If a lot of people report you constantly as you're playing games, then the game is going to have a lower chance of making you an Overwatch investigator. And the reason for this is they don't want people that are potentially cheaters. They don't want suspicious players, judging other suspicious players, because you don't want a cheater judging another cheater. You don't know what's going to happen. It might open up a black hole. But jokes aside, they want, reliable, real players, judging cheaters to see if they actually are hackers or not, so that's why they're going to want you to have a low amount of account reports. Some of you might hear this and say, hey, I'm not a cheater, but I get reported all the time because of how much of a god I am in matchmaking. But that's not going to be enough. Usually, to have a low amount of reports to be able to get into Overwatch, you're just going to not need to be, getting reported constantly every match. So if maybe 1 or 2 times you get called out for being a hacker, even though you're just a god, that's not going to be that much of a problem. And with those factors out of the way, you have an old account, you've played a lot of games, you have a high skill group, you're a reliable person, then CSGO will have a way higher chance of choosing you as an Overwatch investigator because they think you are reliable and have a good chance of sniffing out cheaters. Once you are actually in the Overwatch program, make sure that when you're going over through your cases, you're making sure that you're actually watching them, and making sure you know what you're doing. You're looking for every little thing that might happen that might have an effect on, if they are a cheater or not. Because if you have a lot of unreliable cases and you're just wrong most of the time, you convict people who aren't cheaters, or maybe there are cheaters that you say aren't cheating, that's going to make you have a lower chance of, keeping it, because you can lose Overwatch if you are really stupid and you constantly choose the wrong thing. So just make sure you're putting your time into your cases and make sure that you are working hard to get the cheaters out of the game. Anyway, that is pretty much how you can get CSGO Overwatch if you aren't already an investigator. It's a lot of fun to do that, and it cleans up the society so us CSGO gamers can continue to have fun and not just be constantly facing off with spin botters. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. It means a lot that you checked out my video. Like the video if you liked it. It's a little bit self-explanatory, but even if you didn't like it, you should like it as well, because it's good. And subscribe. And yeah, have a wonderful day, my friends. Peace.